Hi, my name is Robert. This video is designed to give you step-by-step detailed instruction on completing the task at hand. Visit my YouTube channel and watch my disclaimer video. And please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you find the information you're looking for. Thank you very much for watching. I made mention a couple of weeks ago about replacing the coolant hoses in my car, especially when I did my coolant flush video. And I haven't got around to doing that yet. I'm just in the process of ordering my coolant hoses. And today I was kind of surprised by me being fortunate enough to catch a leak. One of the #1 reasons that people lose their older cars is because of head gasket leaks, blown head gaskets, burnt valves, and accidents. But probably by far blown head gaskets may be the #1 cause. And the reason that happens is people blow coolant hoses because they're still running coolant hoses that are nearly 20 years old. My car's 19 years old, and I doubt that all the coolant hoses was replaced. I recommend people replacing these hoses every 10 years just to stay way clear of having that kind of catastrophe happen to your motor. And another thing I want to encourage you, do not play coolant roulette with your car. Anytime you have a coolant leak, you need to get that leak fixed as soon as possible. I don't recommend driving around with coolant leaks, trying to top off the coolant. Sooner or later, you're going to miss that coolant top off. Too much coolant's going to leak out, a hose is going to blow, a water pump's going to fail, and you're going to find yourself stuck on the side of the road with a blown motor. Blown motors just cost too much to fix when you can replace a hose or a radiator or a leaking water pump. Just in case you don't know it, if you're driving down the street and your car blows a coolant hose, let's say it blows a radiator hose or a hole in the radiator or your heater core supply lines, your car will drain all the coolant out of the system probably in about 10 seconds. After all of that coolant is flushed under the car, which you probably won't see none of it because your hood actually has a seal that stops smoke and things from blowing up over your windshield. So your car is designed to push any leaks under the car. Say for instance you blow a radiator hose. All of your coolant flows under your car while you're driving. If you're driving down the freeway and your car loses all of its coolant in 10 seconds, within 30 to 60 seconds, your car will go from the normal operating temperature to extreme overheat, and you won't have a chance to drive to the next exit to get that car off the road and get it shut down. So if you're ever driving your car and you see that temperature meter rising above the normal spot, do not let your brain tell you that you're going to make it home, to the next exit, or anywhere. Immediately pull that car off to the side of the road and shut it off. Failure to do so will likely result in a blown head gasket and a destroyed motor. Now what happened to me was I had taken my wife out for lunch. When we went back to the car after lunch, I noticed there was some liquid around my front tire there. When I went over and looked at it, it kind of looked like water, so I popped my hood. I checked my coolant reservoir, and my coolant reservoir was low. Right now you can see it's about 1.5 inches down from the full mark when it was actually up to the full mark a few days ago. So I got to looking at my hoses. This hose was replaced. You can actually squeeze your hoses, and if they feel rubbery, they're probably okay. If they feel a little hard and they sound crackly when you squeeze them, those hoses definitely need to be replaced sooner than later. So you got a top radiator hose, you got a bottom radiator hose, you got 2 hoses for your heater core that go into your car. Mine are back there. And on my car, I have an additional hose that goes to my turbo, and I have what's called a turbo return line right there. So right here is a coolant hose, and when I popped my hood open, there was a lot of coolant sitting here on this pan. It's still wet with coolant. When I look closer, I can see that the clamp has dug into this coolant hose that's pretty you know, a little hard, and it's just old and brittle. So it's time for this hose to be replaced, and I mean replaced today. Now my car has two other hoses. I got this little hose here that goes from the top of my thermostat housing over to my coolant reservoir, and then I got a hose that comes out the bottom of my coolant reservoir back to my motor. So your responsibility for you and your car is to find out how many hoses deliver coolant and replace every one of those hoses that are hard, more than 10 years old, or need to be replaced because of their condition. I repeat, if you got hoses in your motor that carries coolant, water, whatever you want to call it, and those hoses have not been replaced within the last 10 years, you want to get those hoses replaced. It may cost $200, $300, $400 to do it, but it beats an $1,800 motor repair job, or even more than that. A head rebuild on my car because of a blown head gasket can run $2,400 easy. So please like and share this with your social media friends. We don't want them to lose a valued car from their family, especially those that don't need that kind of expense right now. If you feel that this information was beneficial, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can also subscribe to my channel so that you can get notification of future videos that I post. Visit my channel. I have all types of do-it-yourself videos there. You can leave questions here and I'll try to respond to them as quick as possible. You can also visit my website at robertspinner.com. Thanks again for watching.